I'm Massimiliano Gioni. I'm the guest curator of the exhibition Apariencia Desnuda at the museum Jumex in Mexico City. It's a special exhibition that brings together the work of Marcel Duchamp and Jeff Koons, two of the most important artists of the 20th century, and have made art out of banal everyday objects. They are ready-mades, as Duchamp called them, are everyday objects that are transformed into sculpture. So the exhibition is particularly special in the way in which it displays objects of apparent no value, which are transformed into incredibly precious objects. And in that sense, the pedestals made of Corian play a very important role because they literally elevate everyday objects into the realm of art. Jeff Koons is one of the most perfectionist artists in the world. He's obsessive about precision, he's obsessive about the choice of material, and so he likes Corian because it's this smooth, milky material. He likes the fact that in Corian there are no seams. The surfaces seem completely uninterrupted, they seem smooth, perfect, there are no screws, there are no apertures, so they are almost the ideal of a pedestal. They are almost the platonic perfection turned into a pedestal, and that's why he loves to work with that material and only accept that material to present his own sculptures on. Jeff Koons' sculptures often play with scale and weight. They can seem very light because often they also make references to balloons and works from childhood, but they are incredibly heavy, incredibly difficult to be manipulated. The sculpture behind me, for example, weighs almost 2 tons, so almost 2,000 kilos. It looks almost as fluid as a liquid, but is incredibly heavy and it needs specific equipment to be moved. Balloon Dog or Play-Doh and some of his most ambitious sculptures can weigh thousands and thousands of kilos. And so it's very important when designing the pedestals that underneath the Corian there is a structure that holds the weight, and Jeff is very particular in creating the pedestals in such a way that it looks like the sculpture is almost floating on the Corian, but of course the whole pedestal has to hold a tremendous pressure and tremendous amount of weight. Well, the challenges are to treat the material in the way it was conceived for. So if you look at the pedestals, you will see no seams, no screws. The screws are fantastic. They are screwed magnetically with a special screwdriver so that you don't see any perforation. And that is something that Jeff particularly loved because then the pedestal, they look completely pure. I was joking that up here it's like being in a platonic world of shapes, and that is really achieved by the perfection of the pedestals. Another challenge was to make sure that Jeff and the studio approve every single pedestal. Jeff is incredibly precise, so he has looked at the drawings of the pedestals many times. He has approved the specific color of the Corian. There was an initial design that was more of a sketch, and then there were engineers and production managers that developed the interior structure to hold the weight. So it's like building little houses. You know, every single pedestal looks so perfect from the outside, but the process is really like building miniature sculptures or miniature houses onto which other sculptures are placed. The result, a sense of peaceful beauty that I think this material delivers, this sense of a kind of classical sculptural quality without being pretentious. You know, you could make them in marble, you could make them in stone. They would look very heavy. Instead, Corian has the quality of stone with a finish that is very modern, very contemporary, and I think that's what contributes to make the exhibition very special.